Okay. Okay. Thank the heavens. I was clicking through these and I clicked too fast and okay. And then I clicked start and it, oh man. Whew, we're good. All is well. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. My whole life just flashed before my eyes. I'm so dead serious. My whole life just flashed before my eyes. No, yeah, you're good. I know. Live is never truly live. Oh my gracious. Bro, if I had a heart rate monitor, it would be up there. So, Mira, this game is called Scarlet Hollow. And we're like quite a ways into it, but to give you a very simple explanation, I'm in this town because my aunt died. And my aunt, but she's like an aunt that I didn't really know. But I felt the importance to come to the funeral. And so I'm in town for the funeral. And my cousin, who's the aunt's daughter, like hates me. Anyway. Since I've gotten here, a lot of crazy stuff has gone down. Is this too loud? Do I need to turn this down? Should I turn the volume down? Is that better? I feel like it was a little loud. Anyway, but since I've gotten here, a lot of crazy stuff has happened. There's like these weird creatures called ditchlings that are like laying eggs and animals, and like we all like, I keep like, is this a good volume where we're at right now? I keep like getting possessed and like seeing visions. No. And so we're trying to figure out what's going on. And currently, one of the friends that we've made has disappeared. And we're trying to find her and figure out what's going on. Did I just crash? Did I crash? Are we here? Oh, nah. Bitrate is down in the trenches right now. What's going on? Yeah, Mira, yeah. What's happening? Hello? Are you guys still there? My bitrate just plummeted for no reason. Hello? My YouTube crashed entirely. We back? I don't want to like, the game is so important to like be connected for. Yeah, what the turd? Why? Urgh. Urgh. Let's take a speed test. No, it's not. Oh my. Oof. Download speed is 2 megabits per second. Why did everything just crash all of a sudden? It's like, it's PORNO type stuff. My internet is trash right now. I don't know what to do. Yes, this is a horror game. I don't know what to do. I don't want it to be buffering the whole time. Guys, is it any better? Am I buffering still? Are we getting better? Hello? Okay, let me test my internet. I just really don't want to be... Okay, my YouTube's back to excellent, which is good. I just really don't want to do this if the VOD is gonna be glitchy and stuff, you know? Let's test the internet again. Maybe she just had a blip of problem. Okay, yeah, okay, we're back. That was weird. That was so bizarre. My internet just decided to crap out for a second, but she's back now. She's chilling. Okay. Okay, we should be good then. Sorry, I just really didn't want... Because it's such an important story game, I don't want it to be glitchy in the VOD and stuff, so... Or while you're watching. But internet test was Gucci, we should be Gucci now. Okay. Currently, we're filling Oscar in on what we know, I think. That's what's happening. Okay. Lock in. Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might be grabbed by a ditchling. Click. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the anguished doughboys. I kind of like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting. To each their own. Oh, wait, I gotta move my... Should I move my cam? Or is it chill right there? What do you think? I think some dogs keep them safe. Like a gang of dogs. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we saw it with our own eyes. A gang of dogs? I suppose stranger things have happened. This very week, in fact. But we'll make sure that he stays safe. The thing in the clinic, the thing I mentioned. All right, Mira, sleep well. I hope that your morning, you're not too hungover or anything. Love you. Sleep well. See you later. For this chapter, keep it here. Okay, perfect. There's that thing in the clinic, that hole. I wish Dr. Kelly were taking this as seriously as she should. Oscar, what did you tell her about last night? She didn't bat an eye at anything. Sleepy said about the supernatural. She's mostly just got defensive. Does she know how bad it was? I told her everything. She seemed to believe me, but who knows? Maybe she was just being polite in front of Rosalina. Maybe the whole time I was ranting, she's just actually nodding along, thinking I had a psychotic break. I don't know. She didn't seem to care about putting on a show for Rosalina once we showed up. I'll make sure to shoot Risa. Mira, thank you. All right. Good luck with that. Get some rest. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. He at least deserves to know something might happen. Wait, who's Reese? Oh, he's the sick son that she's definitely poisoning. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. One way or another, I'm gonna find myself back there soon enough. It's faint, but I can still feel the pull at the clinic door. It's only getting stronger. You're not planning on breaking in, are you? Because if so, nope, you are not going to do that. Let's not have a repeat of last night. We should be more cautious about what we do. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it's to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? Why is my character so hung up on the whole cult thing? They're all going to jail, probably. May as well say it. You mentioned something like that at the library the other day. If there was a cult in Scarlet Hollow, I feel like I'd know about it. Just throwing ideas out there. Any local cults that could be responsible. Maybe it's something to do with the church and the pastor. Just throwing ideas out there. Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some cult that ran the place. What did I ask you? Leave Oscar alone. I told y'all. That is the perfect cuddling body type, okay? He's working on his cuddling bod. I've got to agree with Kaneko on this. I feel like I'd have picked up on something. A cult doesn't necessarily have to run the town to have an impact here. If we're looking at the historical context of disaster sites this week, we're talking about things that happened nearly a century ago or even further back. I'll see what I can find. You never know. Whatever we do next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. Yeah, let's do it. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know if you can find anything. I will. We're going to get the library back, and we're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. You pause before Oscar leaves, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it now before you leave. Should I also flirt with Oscar? How old is he? How old am I? Are you saying he's gay? Maybe he swings both ways. We don't know. You were thinking it. Should I flirt with him? But I also flirted with what's his bucket, and he's standing right here. Avery? He had his teenager, so, and she's like 13, right? So he's gotta be, what's the math? How old am I? That's another important part. He's 31. How old am I? Just my age? But am I gonna ruin things with Avery? I want to keep my options open though. If I'm my own age, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 5 years? 5 years is not that bad. I will? Guys, who do we like more, Oscar or Avery? There's still a weighing my options, I guess. I'll go still weighing my options. We'll play it safe. Just in case. So that's Oscar. Any ideas? Let's check the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin since they're friends. You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know? Classic dog and cat situation. Does he think they like each other? Come on, I'll drive us. Vroom, vroom. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. Oh, yeah, they're doing their strike. I forgot. Scarlet, more like toilet. You can't see it over here, but that his sign says Scarlet, more like toilet. Better hours now or none at all. I am unhappy with the treatment I am receiving as a workman in the Scarlet Mine. Bro, someone needs to tell this man that protest signs should not have an essay on them or no one's gonna read them. It has to be short and snappy. Come on. A wall of bodies, picket signs, and megaphones in hand form a human barricade around the entrance of the Scarlet Mines. Is this a strike? They're striking? Some miners were talking about it in the diner yesterday, and it looks like they managed to convince almost everybody to join up. The collapse must have been a breaking point for a lot of people. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go back underground the day after a mine collapse either. I'm never stepping foot in a mine ever again. It's time Tabitha stopped taking her workforce for granted. Okay, perfect. Sharky, sounds good. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple hours a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin. What's that even mean? Hail and well met, fellow countrymen. What does that even mean? How goes the strike? Wouldn't you like to know? Okay, you can see for yourself it's going strong. A major collapse happened on the property not 2 days ago, and the boss wants us to go on about our work as usual. I'm not going back down there knowing death or serious bodily injury could come at any second. I care more about living than I do about any paycheck. There's a lot that could stand to change around here, and seems like darn near everybody else thinks so too. What are your grievances? Yes. We'd like competitive pay, 8-hour shifts instead of 12 or more, improvements to the sick day and vacation policies, and thorough safety inspections before any of us step foot underground again. That collapse was way too close to the active mine for me to feel safe down there until I know for sure I wouldn't wind up buried under tons of rock. I agree, Dwarf, I agree. This place is supported by the labor of folks who are too desperate for work to care about the conditions they work under. It runs them ragged, then spits them out when they're too broken to keep going. I've seen it happen time and again. Welcome back. Yeah. We're going to change things. There's no reason we should be treated like we're disposable workforce. If we're the ones making her money, we should be making money too, not just scraping by. That's a lot of grievances. Working here seems tough. Yeah. Do you think Tabitha can even make those changes without the mines going under? I'm sure she can figure it out. I'm not saying she's a bad boss. People clearly aren't happy with her, but coal's getting used less and less, and I've seen that old Scarlet house. It's practically condemned. If she has money to spare, where is it going? I really didn't peg you as someone who'd go to bat for Tabitha. I mean, that's true. Like, are we not thinking she's rich? I'm not. I'm just trying to get a full picture here, and if the mine fails, I don't see how Aunt Winnie's diner doesn't fail with it. Good point. Okay, but that's the whole problem. A single family shouldn't be able to hold an entire town hostage. The workers need a say in the business. Fair enough. That's it. Look, I just need to talk to my cousin. I'd be happy to pass along your demands. Y'all just being greedy. Good. Tabitha had this coming. Poor Tabitha. She's had a tough week. I'm behind you folks. I've no horse in this race. Isn't it a bit of an escalation? Did you try talking to Tabitha first? I'll say I'd be happy to pass along the demands. I'm not sure we should be involving the boss's cousin in any negotiations. Yeah, it'd be a bad look. If you want to try and push her to the table, that's one thing, but you should leave the demands to us. Why the cops here? Miss Scarlet requested we supervise the situation. The mine's the source of a lot of jobs in town, and she just wanted to make sure nobody did anything hasty while expressing their concerns. Which is fair, I guess. That's a polite way of saying that they're here to intimidate us. No, a little reminder from the boss that she owns more than just the coal mines. Oh yeah, you know me. Hey, I'm all for unions. Remember, Flutie got fired for trying to start one, so I'm pro-union. Oh, my bad. Earthquake. Simmer down. Nobody's here to intimidate anyone, but the Scarlet Mines are private property. Miss Scarlet has every right to request some oversight during a tense situation. Also, look at them over there sipping their coffee. You think the cops gonna do nothing? They don't do nothing in this town, bruh. He did, yeah, that's why we're suing him. I don't know if I don't remember if I had, like, shared that or not, but... Yep, that's... Yep. There's a lot more of us than there are of you. I did, okay, yeah. I was like, I didn't think it was a secret anymore. But yeah. Have you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Can't say we'll be much help, though. We'll just be standing around here for the foreseeable future. Should I try? I'll try and talk to Tabitha. Sure, you may be the boss's cousin, but you seem harmless enough. Go ahead. I don't care if they're okay with you going in. I'm still not crossing the picket line. Besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll just wait by the van while you go talk to her. Same, everyone who works here is a regular at the diner. I don't want to make things weird. See you at the other side. Yeah, well, it was the higher-ups. It was greed is what it was. They were worried about having to give up some money, so it was a whole thing. I can go into it later. It's quiet today, empty beyond the ruckus at the front gate. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above the hill. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment, no response. You knock again. Oh, for the love of... I wasn't trying to just burst in on her, bruh. The door swings open. Oh, it's you. Should I go? Yeah, and try not to get yourself noticed. Rodriguez! I don't know who that is, do I? It's just some minor dude. Have a minute, it's important. I really don't, but you're already here, aren't you? Make it quick. Should I? I already said you can leave, Rodriguez. We'll talk more later. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves. Why'd she run up on me like that? Instant you're alone, Tabitha rounds on you. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours, eyes full of rage, her words frustrated hiss. Listen to me, Sleepy. Really listen. This isn't some fun little game, okay? This is my life, and if you value yours, you'll keep quiet about what you just saw. I don't care if we're family. I can make the rest of your stay here a living heck if you cross me. Her grip loosens. Sorry to get scary for a second. I've just been pushed to the brink this week, and I can't have anything else go wrong. Start. No, we're chill. I get it. I hope you mean that, because if you don't, just know that I always follow through with my promises. What did you come by here to talk about anyway? Just decided you wanted to bother me on the worst possible day to be bothered. Stella's missing. Have you seen her? She's missing? Tabitha is quiet for a moment. I'm sure she'll turn up, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Don't think looking for my missing acquaintance gives you a pass to do anything dangerous. You're forbidden from doing risky things, even for what you might think is for a good reason. Crying is an option. Low-key, I might have cried. I don't know if I can judge what's risky. Yesterday was supposed to be a cakewalk. That's fair, actually. Why don't you try lying in bed all day? You can always leave the search and rescue to her other friends. I also wanted to know how you were doing with the strike, your mom, everything. Let's talk. It was kind of jump scary for real. It was. Did you really think I'd want to have some kind of heart-to-heart right now? Sorry, Sleepy, but I have work to do. Save your probing questions for some other time, or never. I don't care which. If not now, then when? I'm only here for a few more days. Why'd you even invite me here if you dislike me so much? Was it so wrong of me to reach out to my last living family member so I wouldn't have to bury my mother alone? I didn't know what you would be like. I didn't know how much we would clash. If I had, maybe I wouldn't have invited you. Or maybe I would have anyway. Maybe this is still better than being alone. We're family, Sleepy. That still means something to me. I want to talk about the strike. Good for you. I don't. Now, if you have something else to talk about, spit it out. Otherwise, get out of my office and leave me to work. Okay. Love you. Bye. Don't be weird. Okay. I don't think our relationship is progressing anywhere. You leave the office, the door slamming behind you. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you outside. You don't look like you found any new leads. Feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town. We can figure out our next move from there. She said, don't be weird. Fair enough. They do, 5, they do. Where to next? Well, the cops is not really an option because they're at the picket fence thing. Okay, let's go to the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. I don't think she will if we're looking for missing Stella, you know? The diner is busier than you've ever seen it. The small booth's packed with miners. So I guess this is where the miners are setting up shop. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize. Oh, I love Winnie. She's cute. And I can't say I have. I've been a little preoccupied. This is great for business. These fellas have as much free coffee as they can drink if they keep piling in like this. Do you need any help? No, Sal and I can handle this. One of your friends going missing is more important than a busy shift. I told you. Winnie's a sleigh. The miners didn't even notice you enter the diner. Instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. I guess the shift schedules are pretty brutal, and I'd like more vacation days. I'd love to be able to go see my family around the holidays, and better health benefits would be amazing. But what if she decides to fire all of us? Hey, careful folks. Smith just let me know that the boss's cousin over there was snooping around the mine. Let's just put this discussion on ice until we know we won't be overheard. What am I gonna do? She hates me. Like, conversation cuts out, an uncomfortable silence falling over the diner as the miners watch you with suspicion. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. They don't know that. The YouTuber? Everybody knows her as the YouTuber. Yeah, my family. So the family does. The Scarlet family / my family. But she's like, we're the only two left in the family. And obviously, my mother ran away with me, so I'm not running it. So now she's running it because her mom died. No, we ain't seen her. As you can see, we've got a lot going on. We'd appreciate it if you didn't butt in. Sorry, somebody's missing. I'm trying to find them. Oh my gosh. Drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. What do you want to do, Harrison? Join the strike, Harrison. Unite your fellow workers. Don't let them... What do you want to do, Harrison? Stop someone from joining the strike? I don't know. This ain't your business, and those sorts of questions are exactly what someone trying to break a strike would be asking. Nuh-uh. I told y'all, pro-union. Come on now, I don't think Sleepy was trying to break your strike. And how would you know that? This person's a stranger and a Scarlet. Hold your horses there, Zax. I don't care if y'all stand for a good cause. I don't even care how much bacon and eggs you've bought. You start fighting in my establishment, you're out. Let's handle this like civil adults. You heard the lady. Don't get involved, or we'll all have to take this outside. That man! You can't... Hold on. This is the man that's talking to me. I could take him in a fight easy. He thinks that he can fight me? He looks like he's at death's door. Are we serious? Be for real. Be for real, Harrison. Or what was his name? I don't remember. Harrison's the other one. Be for real. That's fair, Sharky. It's also like I'm streaming it, so I don't want to speed too fast. Ah, man. So about the strike, you really think we're about to... Oh, it's Zach's. Zach's is his name. Not even just Zach. You have to put an S on it, like pompous, bro. You really think we're going to talk to you, kid, after what you just tried to pull with Harrison? We're not fools, and we're not about to talk shop with a strike breaker. If the mine fails, none of you are ever going to have jobs left to strike over. Look, I support you guys, but maybe you can save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike thing is hardly fair. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. Do you think I like Tabitha? Have you met her? Let me promise you that our blood relationship means nothing. I don't actually have a horse in this race. I talked to Tabitha earlier today. I think I can convince her to back down. I low-key might go with the mom just died thing. Like, I know that it's like kind of a cop-out, but oh, she's having a difficult week? Is that why she's forcing her workers to go back into the mines not 2 days after a collapse? We don't care if it's the worst week of her life. She's been overworking us for as long as anyone can remember, just like her mother before her. It's time somebody stood up and stopped it. I guess we'll just go. Boogers. You turn and leave. Okay. Still no sign of Stella. Let's check the church. The church? Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all the religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we've been barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look, I can be pro-union, but also pro-empathy. You know what I mean? Like, let's be for real. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all the bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Okay, let's go meet the creepy pastor. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Let's go meet the creepy guy. All right, we go up to the church. Real, Sharky. That's real. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? My, 4 visitors at once on a Thursday? This is unprecedented. He said 4. Is she here? But there are only 3 of us. Oh no. Were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Oh, it's Zane. The freak is he doing here? Hello? Sup, old people? Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if Faith held any answers for me. Zane's so real for that. He's low-key real for that. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his ways into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. He's the cult leader, bruh. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. Alpacas? Slay. Though sleepy, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. Hello? I'm not gonna be... Bro. It's not weird, I promise. Girl, I don't want to become one of his many wives. Oh, no. All right, sure. What's up? I guess we'll leave you two and we'll go check in with Janie. See you in a minute. He's gonna try and get me to be a wife of his. Your friends head off toward Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. Pastor. I always say, anyway. I had a chat with the mayor yesterday. I heard you did too. Can he talk to animals? What? I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear. What? You have no idea how long I thought I must have some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point that it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. What? Whoa. Okay, but they kind of are chill with me, I think. So why are they so weird about him? Ew, why is he smiling like that? Nah, I don't think that's why people think he's weird. He just has a weird aura. I'm not gonna lie to ya. I don't think it's the animal thing. I don't think it's the animal thing. I guess the two of us are just kindred spirits. Are we sure we're actually talking to the animals? No, now that I know there are at least two of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life when I thought I might just be nuts. But it's so consistent and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity. In my most doubting moments, I've considered the possibility that other entities may be using the animals to confuse my faith. But besides a particularly vicious hamster I had growing up, the most an animal has ever tried to convince me to do is give them more food. So I somehow doubt that they're puppets for some otherworldly evil, real. Unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets. Have we been cursed? I don't think it's a curse. It can be annoying at times, but so can talking to people. That's so real. Low-key, talking to animals is not a curse. I don't know why we would have said that, but why he looked like that? That's what I'm saying. Because he gives creepy aura. I guess. I don't know. He needs to relax a little or something. He's definitely, I don't know. I think it's a little deeper than just the animal thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now that I feel that way very often, of course, as a servant of God, I am always ready and willing to talk with my fellow man about anything they need to discuss. You think? Nah, did you see that smile? Did you see the creepy smile he did? Be for real. It's not just the music. Spiritually, I've always rationalized it as God's sign that I should spread his word to even the beasts of his world. I've had mixed results. Seems the alpacas prefer Catholicism, which they know about somehow, and birds tend to be incredibly heretical. That's funny, bruh. I wish I could approach a scientist about this without becoming a research experiment, but I've preferred to keep quiet at my doctor's visits. I can't risk being locked away or altered in some permanent way. Now, not when I have a family to take care of. Not the Catholicism. Have you met Frou-Frou or Gretchen or Pixel? Of course I have, but I learned early in life not to let on that I have this gift, at least while other humans are around, so I haven't spoken with any of them. Though I get the feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I could understand her. I've tried to befriend the alpacas when no one else is around, emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly cliquey. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is around. What, Five? Is the gift why you got into the church? It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by two loving parents and was always interested in religion. But I've also always known about my talents, so I don't know what came first. If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. It hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of religious education I've had. No, I think he's a Baptist. He's Baptist, right, Sharky? I think they're Baptist. The alpacas, though, they prefer Catholicism. No, tell me, Five. No, tell me. I want to know. Then why'd you ask? Okay. For instance, a lot of religious leaders will tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I both know that's not true, though I suppose that gets into a whole different conversation about what exactly a soul is. But those are conversations that I'm glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple, small-town pastor. See, look at that smile, bruh. Look at that smile. Tell me that's not creepy. Oh, LOL. My bad. My bad, dwarf. Didn't mean to get hostile. I don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I just have to help people through their daily lives. Is this why people think you're creepy? People think I'm creepy? But it's alright. People say all kinds of things. I just have to be patient and persistent. And I know eventually they'll understand that I can be a comforting presence in their lives, not a creepy one. Oops, I didn't mean to drop that. I didn't know he thought people thought he was creepy. My bad, Daniel. My bad. My bad, squad. Maybe if I grew a thicker beard, people would trust me more. Or maybe I should just get a cool jacket. Aw, little Daniel. Little buddy. It's a relief. I think the two of us means we're friends. I hope you know that this means that we're bonded, best friends. Does Janie know? Ooh, I like that one. Does Janie know? No, I don't believe there should be secrets between man and wife. So I'll have to tell her one day, but there hasn't been a good time yet. Building a life in Scarlet Hollow has been a difficult process, and the last thing I need to do is add the stress of her husband being some kind of circus act. Beard would kind of fix it, you think? Maybe. Maybe. Duck Dynasty? It's okay, dwarf. So do I. Tulip, on the other hand, I'm starting to have my suspicions that she might share the same gift. Is that their daughter, I guess? There have been some pretty particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. Why is she barefoot? Girl, put some shoes on that child. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back at the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go in the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time you get fed. You can give them hay. She's cute, though. She smiles, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into these woods a lot lately. It's really dangerous, even for adults. There's a massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. How big would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip does not go near it. What were you saying about the church rats? Ah, yes, the rats. A little bit, except it's not as bad because he has the little like bearded goatee type thing happening. If it was just the stash, yes, but it's not as bad with the rest of it. With the goatee handlebar situation, it's not as bad. If it was just the stash, then yeah. So you and I are used to that sort of chatter we hear from the wildlife. It's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to, but those rats, there's something so sinister about them, and they must be huge. They must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip had never shown evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversation with the birds. Nice. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it the way I did growing up. Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends, has been drawing all these pictures of them, really ghastly things. I've tried to bring it up with her. Oh, Slay! I did Phasmophobia earlier tonight. Now we're doing this one. Phasmo slays. That's awesome. Also, welcome. I've tried to bring it up with her, but she gets this little smile and doesn't say a word. It's like it's her fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in the trash heap And ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. I'm concerned she's going to get hurt or catch some kind of disease. What have they been saying? They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through unseen holes and make fun of me and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since I started talking to them. I'd hate to think what they say to her when I'm not around. Oh, it's late. It's 2:30 a.m. for me. Very late / early. Have you seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats. You never see them, but the church has all the signs of an infestation, and there's no mistaking that the sound of little creatures stampeding through the walls. I've left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. All it's done is waste peanut butter. And I've caught a possum in one, poor thing. Possums are never very bright, but at least he got a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. Has Janie heard them? She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her jobs until late, and we spend our evenings in the house. It's just me and Tulip all day. Janie knows Tulip has made some strange little friends, but thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sort out the rat issue before she could get suspicious, but they're persistent, so I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get money for one. I hope it doesn't come to that. Are you sure they're rats? I think so. He shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so. This is really creepy. Have you befriended them? Maybe Tulip's onto something. Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I can try talking to them. You should talk to Tulip about the gift. I'm sure both of you could have used some guidance growing up. Both of us. Yeah, talk to her, bruh. Talk to her. You could just ask them to move out. I doubt they would. Oh yeah, it's definitely more sinister, Sharky. I agree. You're right. I grew up with this ability. If anyone can help her understand not to engage with evil little creatures like the rats that are eating God's house from the inside out, it's me. I can handle this. At the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Sleepy. We got to feed the alpacas. They're so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extra for me, of course. She's so nice. She even offered to bring me some since I'm feeling under the weather. Hope your talk with the pastor went well? Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let y'all be on your way, and I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. All right, thanks. See ya. Okay, slay. Someone else speaks to animals. Okay. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? I don't want to dox him. Should I dox him? Maybe I should just dox him. What have I got to lose? You know? We're just gonna dox him. We'll see how it goes. I can't believe that of all people in the world you could have shared that ability with, you wound up stuck with Pastor Daniel. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Okay, that was whatever. All right, to the cops we go. Are you sure? Nothing against the officers in Scarlet Hollow, but have you met them? You've met them, right? Do you think it's worth all the trouble? No, I don't, but it's the game option, so... As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. The police station is exactly what you'd expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of the department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Beau standing between you and the officer behind the desk. Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Deputy Franklin, sir. She was gonna be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to our family. Yeah, probably. That's okay, though. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, young man. Any property disputes will have to wait if indeed there is a dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal that took your vegetable? Sir, you know Mr. Tremaine thinks that land belongs to him. He's probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with my pumpkin. Ain't there something you can do about it? Franklin seems to turn to you as you enter, though his impenetrable shades make it impossible to judge where he's really looking. Well, if it isn't Sleepy, we should lock you up for all this, for the stunt you pulled last night. Calling the emergency line as a joke is illegal. Yeah, the mayor's security. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. How did you manage to find your dad? What's all about a weird question, but are you part of a cult is crazy. Stella ran off and she went missing and she's still missing. I'm sure she is. Let me guess. This is another attempt at a little prank. No, Mike, it's real. She ran off last night in a state of distress and no one has heard from her since. We're all pretty worried. Yeah, I'd never seen her wander off like that before. She didn't really say anything. I see. Well, it couldn't hurt to file a missing persons report, but if I find out you were all pulling my leg, there'll be heck to pay. He pulls out a few forms. If one of you could fill these out, please. I can take care of that. Thank you so much for taking this seriously, Mike. I know Stella had a tendency to go on hiking trips, but this feels different. She can't be in her right mind going back out in them woods after what happened to my daddy. She can start looking right now. There's got to be more than just paperwork. I went to the mines, but it didn't let me explore the cave in any way. My orders are to man the station, but I'll be sure to start an investigation as soon as I'm relieved. The Scarlet Hollow police are doing all that we can. You're the mayor's security guy. Ooh, maybe she did go back to the house. Really? Ooh, freak. I hope I don't end up in jail. I don't want to, bruh. We also met on Monday. I'm a man of many hats, and all of them give me authority over you, so you best watch yourself. Bo, did you ever find your dad? Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away. No, I ain't found him. Had to stop looking so I could stay home and guard the farm. There are more of those things every minute, it seems like. Do you think they'll go back to where they came from soon? They will once they've had their fill of suffering. I'm doing my best to try and send them packing. I'll do my part to help. I'll kick in as many of those nasty little faces as I can, but I don't know how many of them I can send scampering off. Uh-oh, 5. Whoa, are you good? Y'all make fun of me for living in the ghetto, but 5 up in here. Actually living in the ghetto, maybe. Seems like there's no end to those critters. What's this about the pumpkin? Julius Tremaine stole Big Betty and I'm trying to get the police to talk to him. I've been telling Mr. Calloway that there's no way to prove who the vegetable in question belonged to. If there's no documentation, it's your word against his. Callaways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. Some feud over a century ago split the families, and they've been at it ever since. What makes you think Julius stole it? He's been claiming Big Betty since the day one, on account of he thinks it planted on his side of the property. Uh-oh, 5. Should you call the police, or is it chill? He's never been good about property lines, same as every Tremaine that came before him. We get our fair share of calls from Mr. Tremaine as well. Not that I'm at liberty to discuss confidential police information. I was hoping we'd get a reprieve from this nonsense after what happened to my daddy. but it don't look like he's willing to give us any time to grieve. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He has a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. 5, you can't. You can call the non-emergency line if you're not too stressed about it. 5, the problem is if everybody thinks that, then nobody's gonna do it, you know? I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. Why is the pumpkin so valuable? She was gonna get the blue ribbon. Daddy said she was near 2,000 pounds. We was supposed to be at the state fair by now, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen this year. And Mr. Tremaine ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he's done. Just hold up like a coward. At the very least, he could give me back some seeds from what was left of her so I can try again next year. She was an important pumpkin to our family. You know, I haven't seen him since Tuesday. He's usually at the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If he ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? Beats me. I just think folks should not be so quick to jump to conclusions. How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I don't know. He did it, but he did it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It could have easily been a bear or a mountain lion or any large animal. We're no bear. We're hunting folk. We know the signs. This is a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. Julius. Why can't you do anything to just look into it? Sleepy's right. I ain't asking for much. You know, Mike, it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors getting angry at each other. Property's been stolen. That's what I'm saying. I agree, Sharky. Stella is in the pumpkin and rolled away into another universe with the pumpkin. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once after everything he's been through? This isn't the first time there's been a theft between the Callaways and the Tremaines. I've heard it all. We know exactly how it'll play out. Trust the police to do the policing, ma'am. First you leave his body in the woods, now you won't do anything about the pumpkin? It's our job as police to remain impartial when it comes to citizens of the town we protect. None of us have it out for Mr. Calloway or Mr. Tremaine. We're just doing what we can to uphold the safety and security of all the residents in Scarlet Hollow. And you're doing a great job. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Look, kid, I'd love to help, but the sheriff has a standing order to not set foot on the Tremaine homestead. The man loves his booby traps. That's never stopped me. I don't make the rules. You'll have to take it up with Sheriff Hugby. If I may, sir, ain't that a mite bit cowardly of you? I thought if police officers were supposed to be brave. This isn't about courage, Mr. Calloway. This is about public safety, and it's about the sheriff's judgment and authority outweighing my own. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along to make sure nobody gets hurt. Look, I'll pass it along when he gets back, but he has his hands full right now. I can't make any promises. Can you arrest a ghost? So long as we can handcuff it, I don't see why not. Does the ghost have hands? Let's say no. Yeah, but it's super strong. It possessed like 5 of us all at once. The library is dangerously haunted right now. There's a ghost in the library? Avery, there isn't a ghost in the library. There's a gas leak, remember? Ha, right. Yes, I was joking. There's no dangerous ghost in the library, but also you shouldn't go there because of the gas leak. I see. Here I thought we were doing a thought exercise, but we're all just having a little fun at the expense of the police department. I should have known. Cole, send it. Cult? Like devil worshippers or hippies or some made-up nonsense? There's no such thing, kid. No such thing as a cult? BFFR. Franklin lowers his sunglasses once again. His judgmental gaze tells you he's considering whether you're fully sane. You know, we only started getting weird calls when you rolled into town, and weren't you present at the collapse the other night? We had a long discussion about you down here at the station after the dust settled. Maybe you're projecting. Maybe it's you who brought a cult to our peaceful little town. Let's just go, bruh. Kanika hands the completed report to Deputy Franklin. Thank you, ma'am. I'll get this filed right away. Good luck to you out there. I hope Miss Richmond is all right and you'll find her soon. We'll be on our way. Best keep your nose clean out there, Sleepy. Try to stay out of trouble. Bro, if they make arresting an option, I'm straight up gonna get arrested. I've been not being careful about that kind of stuff. Do you think Franklin could be part of some cult that secretly runs Scarlet Hollow? That'd be wild. He takes himself way too seriously to do that sort of thing. No, I'm gonna be so mad. At least do you think they could break me out of jail? Oh no. As someone who's lived in this town my entire life, there's no way. For one thing, cult activity like that, like what you're describing, just doesn't happen. I've done my fair share of reading on satanic panics and so-called occult groups, and it's almost always totally made up. People constantly freak out about Satanists without realizing they're just a bunch of debate club nerds who listen to heavy metal. Probably, you'll be fine. Oh no. So instead of not being able to rely on the cops because they're part of a cult that secretly runs the town, we can't rely on them because they're just not good at what they do? That's so much less exciting. But either way, I guess it's up to us to solve the mysteries of Scarlet Hollow. We'll do a much better job anyway. Where to next? As you consider the next steps, you remember your appointment with Sybil. She seemed to be confident last night that Stella would be okay. Maybe she'll be able to find her. And she'd never disparage your gift. Perhaps she's one of the few people in town who can truly understand you. You have to see her. She's the thread tying everything together. But at the back of your mind, you can't help but feel as if there's more than just fate drawing you to the tea room. We should go talk to your mom. I'm supposed to have tea with her today. I guess, Dwarf. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs or protection or something. Which might actually work, but who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's do it. Okay. W stopping point. Right? I think that slays. Maybe call the state police? Maybe. That probably would be a better option, yes. Okay, slay. Tomorrow, we shall pick up with Sybil. I feel like I still have way more of this day left than just... You think we can get it done in one more playthrough? I feel like I got a lot more to do. Why are you getting arrested? Because all the bad things in the town started happening when I showed up, so they're suspicious of me. That's why. LOL. Okay, perf. Maybe. Nah, I don't think he's that complicated, low-key. I'm not getting complicated problem child from the pastor. I think he's just that. No, that's not really why. It's just because he's not complex, I don't think. Time, undisclosed place, and maybe another undisclosed place. Okay, perfect. Slay. I'm gonna be so mad that there's not an ending yet. But that's okay. That is okay. Alright, squad. Love you all so much. There's like hardly anyone here, so I'm not gonna worry about raiding. Go find your favorite other streamers, your second favorite streamer, because I know I'm your favorite. And I mean, I could, but yeah, go watch Phoenix. Do it, do it, do it. Love you guys so much. Sleep well. I shall see you tomorrow. As far as I know, tomorrow should be normal. So, love you, love you. Good night, good night. See you tomorrow.